Okay. Now we are joined by somebody who has honestly stepped up the game big times. Eva Minio has joined the Trusted Authority program and she's been a standout in so many ways. Eva, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
Honestly, we have met actually in person at an event late 2021, and we kind of still connected on LinkedIn. And then I got the message and saying, I'm not quite sure if the Trusted Authority program is for me. Let's hop on a call. I'm curious, what got you actually interested in the program in the first place?
I think I was always interested in in the topic of personal branding, and I know this is something I needed to work on because I'm probably I don't want to get out there and talk about myself. I just don't like it. But I think it needs to be done in a proper way, and I just wasn't sure if my level of experience, if it's more for people who are really in more managerial roles, if this will work for me or if this will be, just for people who are very high up.
Excellent. I'm so glad that you've joined because your specialization is actually brand strategy, design, content creation, and you bring brands to life just from a different angle. So I'm curious, what have been some of those insights or learnings that you've had? Because also, as you hopefully have experienced, it's not just for high ups and for corporate professionals. It's something that everyone who wants to monetize their expertise in one way or the other is designed for. So what has been your experience, what your insights, your learnings?
Okay, I think the most important thing is generally you know what you need and you know what you have to do. But I'm a very bullet point person, process person. So I like processes, and even in designing, there is a process. So there's always a process, one thing after another. And people think design is something, you just come up with a beautiful idea. But I think, with personal branding is the same thing. I think once you slice it into little bits and pieces, it's more digestible, because everybody tells you, you need to get out there, you need to post on LinkedIn, but what is the best picture, what is the best look, how do I present myself, what do I write about? I don't want to be boring, irrelevant. So I think having it step by step with all the frameworks and all the suggestions and charts, and it kind of makes it easier. So you just go through it and you can get back to it when you need to update maybe your strategy. So I think it stays relevant for longer.
I love that you mentioned the step by step, because I'm a big fan of some frameworks because things change and everyone, as you said, just do this or just do that. It's not that easy, especially I always say when you are in the jar, you can't see the label, and the same happens with your personal brand. Well, just put yourself out there, just be authentic. Huh? What does it even mean? And what I love about our, I think we had in our first one-on-one conversation that we actually came up with your name, your title, your description, what you actually do. And we landed on brand strategist and visual designer, didn't we?
Yes.
How does that resonate with you, and what did you call yourself before that?
I think I couldn't find a proper name for what I do because I do a lot of things, but also with my business background, I'm not only a designer. I'm really passionate about strategy and neuroscience and how psychology and design work together. So I think, just being a designer, I know a lot of designers put a lot of thought into what they're doing, but I really like business approach in every part of design. I feel a lot of designers are designers for the sake of design, and they don't think about the usability and the user experience and how easy it is for them, how easy it is to navigate or read something. They quite often forget, for the sake of being more artistic and in the day-to-day design, business design, it's more important about usability, readability, and the end user.
Absolutely. And I was so excited when you said you are actually running our brand strategy workshop, because that kicks off our module 3, which is all about visibility. And it starts with being intentional, what we actually put out there, the colors, the fonts, the images that you associate yourself with. And you did an amazing job, because you went through all the foundations and all the basics that we need to cover. They may not be the most glamorous or most sexy topics, but this is exactly what makes or breaks a personal brand or a company brand. What or how did you approach that, and what do you want to use or do with this experience? Because hopefully, as we've discussed, you use it and monetize it in many different ways.
Well, I think I really liked your approach into the things, and I wanted to actually strip down the design process into something simple too, that everybody can do. Like, not everybody wants to invest in a designer, and not everybody wants, maybe, you want to start by yourself. So I wanted to make a process, but I know it was the first try, and I need to work on it further and make it even, more interesting and more visual. Like, after doing it, I feel like that I know what I want to do exactly the next time, and make it even more, accessible and simple, because it's all about following certain steps. It's easy for everybody. You just need to have some sort of strategy, know what to do. And there are a lot of shortcuts these days that you can use, certain pages and certain tools that make, life easier.
Absolutely. And this is exactly what the difference is between the expert and the authority. The expert knows how to do things. The authority is able to explain it in a way that resonates also with the non-technical people in that profession, like the graphic designers. And hardly any of us has got the graphic design background. So having those tools that you've walked us through is so beneficial and so helpful. And you've explained the process and made it a lot more digestible and also less scary, because people are like, I don't want to have a logo, I don't want to do this, blah, blah. They make up the excuses to not do something with their visual brand. And that obviously hurts them, or can hurt them quite a bit.
Yes.
Now, I'm curious, what's next for you? What would you want to do with the learnings that you've had so far? We want actions. So what can we expect from Eva in the next 6 months?
Eva will finally finish working on her, on her LinkedIn profile, like put into action. This weekend is basically I dedicated for doing it, and I just want to go through all of it, review it. And I have a thought of what I want to do, where I want to go, and just to focus a little bit more and, stream like my actions into, be more specific. I've been doing a lot of things. I think I'm ready now to let go of certain things for the sake of specializing a little bit more and knowing what I like, what I deliver, and even, get better at it. But also I think I'm finally ready to actually share it. So yes, that's the most important step that took me a while, and I haven't shared pretty much anything, but I think I'm ready now because I like things done well. So I was processing for a few weeks, and I think I'm getting ready now to actually put it into action and sit on it and, decide and have like a proper strategy, because I think I'm like, after being for a while in it, I'm defining what I want and what I need and where I'm going.
Absolutely. And you've got everything already in you. And I always say the first thing is always the scariest. The first presentation is horrible. The first speech is probably quite, shaky and so forth. And you've delivered the workshop, you get amazing feedback from the group. So it's just now a matter of refining it, tweaking it, and always improving it as you grow and as you expand your knowledge, your expertise, and also your focus.
Absolutely. I will do that.
Awesome. Now, to wrap things up, for those who might sit on the fence, I'm not quite sure if that program is right for me, what advice would you give them?
I think the best is to join. And I also think it's getting, into a group, getting different perspective on certain aspects and certain problems that you might not realize yet for yourself, but somebody else might be further down the road, and, you realize what you need. But I think the biggest thing about this one is having the steps, like from little steps and little words that define you, and little actions that you need to place yourself in, they all build into a proper strategy and clarity, which you might not have on the start of the program. So I think, step by step, even without realizing, you get to the point where you know where you are and what you need for your career.
Absolutely love it. Thank you so much. And as I said, I'm honestly excited where you are going to take that.
Me too.